Hey, we're gonna hit you with the bars real quick. Hey, quarantine life, but my flow still sick. If I had a maid, I have a make you lemonade. And I don't need to get laid, so don't be afraid. Girl, I get paid, but I'm in pain. Kinda like Wayne, first name Bruce. Where the hell's that made with the goddamn juice? Every day's the same, deja vu. Bring in the wine, yeah, bring in the Zans. Pump up my songs, yeah, let's do a dance. You the kind of girl that made me cancel my plans. You the only girl that let her pay for OnlyFans. Driving. How's that sound? Well, oh yeah, that sounds a little better. Today we're calling Luke Neumann, which I mentioned last episode, just in case, you don't catch every single episode, because I understand people have fucking lives to get to. This guy, it's interesting because he hosted last minute the very first quote-unquote booked show that I ever had, and every time I mention this quote-unquote booked show, I count it because, we emailed, information was exchanged, and I got to do a longer set. I think I got to do 10 minutes, and this is only about 9 months ago, so that's kind of when I was like thinking I got 10 minutes in me, and having a very few amount of times practicing 10 minutes. I like to say maybe I've gotten a little better, but I'm fucking white belt, whatever. 10 minutes of just jokes, straight jokes, material that I have. And he wasn't supposed to be there, the guy who I'm about to call, Mr. Luke Neumann, but he showed up last minute. So it just kind of shows you how small this comedy community is. And fun fact, this guy's been on Kill Tony. He was on Kill Tony, I think 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that. And then he just was on again about a week ago. And I don't want to talk to him too much about it. I just want to get to know him because I consider him a comedy friend. He's always been kind of a delight to be around. I've seen him kind of drunk a couple of times. And that's something I want to get to talking about, is the cutting back on alcohol thing. That's kind of something that I am pushing for when it comes to this guy. So we're going to give him a call because I'm already late. But he said he's got time, so we're going to do this. And we're going to crack open a Coke Zero.
Hey, yo.
Yo. Sorry I'm a little late. I know I said 10 minutes and it turned into 20, I think, or something like that.
That's all good.
We're on the air. We're live, and when I say live, I'm recording, and in case you ever just say anything illegal that you think might be used against you, we could either cut it out or we could just lie and be like, no, that's AI, man. We don't know. That's his voice. That somebody's using his voice. He didn't say that. And I think
all right.
You ever think about that? You ever think about like how AI, I seen like one guy who's like a local actor out here who's I don't know, I guess actors are fighting AI. It's detrimental to their jobs, and I don't know, sometimes I do think in the future people are just going to start making up fake tweets, and you could about you, or people trying to blackmail you or something, and you could just, it's going to be so common. It's going to be like, I plead the fifth. People are going to be like, I plead AI. That's AI. I didn't rob that bank. Somebody fucking 3D printed me or some shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, AI is coming. It's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of videos and stuff that's gonna be fake.
I think speaking of fake, I think you're a pretty real guy. I like to consider you a comedy friend. There's something about you, man. Something, not in a gay way either, something about you that I feel like I kind of relate to, but I feel like I don't really know you that well and have had too many conversations, so hopefully I find that out right now. Hold on, let me mute this because I'm getting text messages, my bad. I don't know, you kind of have this I don't care vibe about you, and I don't know if that's truly you, or if there's sometimes it just comes, oh, this guy's drunk. And am I making sense a little bit, or do I sound like I have the complete wrong perception of you?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm drunk and I don't give a fuck. Sometimes I'm not and I don't give a fuck. And sometimes I am not drunk and I do give a fuck. Sometimes I'm drunk and I do give a fuck.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to get it here. I think I think I don't want to be too much. I feel like you hear enough of it when people talk about it. I guess it's a nice conversation starter though. You were just on Kill Tony about a week ago, and you did your DUI joke, man, and I'm like, I'm proud of you, and it's kind of cool to just it's kind of even cool to just think about, like, man, I seen you do that joke at Tommy T's like over a year ago, and like that's one of your bangers, you know. It's kind of like I respect that. Like it's like something that I've seen out here in the Bay, and you took it out there and you hit him with it, you know. So it's cool to see for whatever that's worth. And I guess one of my initial questions is just like, do you feel like you moved to Texas specifically for comedy, or was it just lifestyle in general? Like, how do you feel about being? It's been like, what, a year of you being there, a couple months?
So I moved out here in March. So 8 months now. About 8 months I've been here. A little less than 8 months.
Okay.
And I definitely came here for comedy. There's a comedy boom going on right now, and I like. There's always new people moving here and coming here, and like it's just growing crazy. And I thought I would have some success out here. I also know that there's a culture out here with regard to the stand-up that's very has a lot of respect for the art form and freedom to be experimental and think outside the box, and they give you room to be edgy out here more so than the Bay Area, and so I wanted to be in an environment like that.
So go ahead. Sorry.
And so yeah, that's a big reason I moved out here. Also, I was just the day, and I wanted to change the scenery. It's always been in my heart to like go live somewhere else, experience the world from a different place, and so that was part of it. I also just wanted to fucking go on an adventure, and I drove out here, and it was a lot of fun getting to drive across the country, and I went to LA and Las Vegas and saw the Grand Canyon and stopped in Phoenix, went to spring training, went to Albuquerque and fucking Lubbock.
Which place did you like the most out of all the places that you visited?
I hated Flagstaff.
And where's that?
Flagstaff is north of Phoenix. It's like the town closest to the Grand Canyon in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Very like hipster vibes, and I got pulled over there. I got a ticket. The Airbnb I stayed in was like fucking haunted or some shit. There was all these like creepy clowns in there, and when I had some weird fucking dreams in that Airbnb.
Damn. How long were you there for?
That's a weird place, bro. Fucking, I got like a $22 sandwich there. I just did not like it at all.
$22. Yeah, so back to what you're saying about like comedy and being more edgy back then. Do you feel more appreciated out there than you did in the Bay, if that makes sense? Like, do you feel like people get you more out there?
I don't know. I think I'm I think my perspective is different, and so I stand out a little bit more here.
Okay.
Um, and also I've been getting better out here also, so it's hard to tell if people appreciate me more out here because they appreciate me more, or because I'm growing and getting better out here at stand up.
Yeah, I think I'd let you know already. You're one of like the handful of comics that I see on social media that'll kind of, I guess the dictionary term for it would be riff on something, or like you can tell it's like an organic idea. You know, you're just sitting in your car and you have this idea, and then you bring it to stage and it kind of becomes a joke. And I feel like that becomes rewarding when you like get a laugh in real life when it goes from just sitting in your car kind of almost like workshopping, because how do I say it, I don't know, it's more like sometimes I'll see people just ask a fucking question, but I think with you're talking about like gin and tonic, or not drinking anymore. And then I don't know if you say that all the time now on the regular or whatever, but it's cool to see. It's cool to see, and I bet it's cool to feel too, because I sometimes have stuff like that as well. But you're one of the. I feel like kind of like what you said, experimental. And sorry about the noise. It's my fucking cat litter, and it's some WD-40 up in this bitch. But we'll figure it out.
What happened?
I don't know if you heard that, but there was like a screeching noise in the background. It's just my fucking cat litter, and it just needs some. It's got that automatic cleaner, and I guess it just is rusted or some shit. My cat piss is just so fucking strong. I guess I gotta put some WD-40 on it. But as I was saying, your organic ideas, and you were talking about experimental like comedy out there, and tell me this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like out there, because I've got a buddy out there, the guy who I keep mentioning, Grinch, and I think you're like, who is this guy or whatever, but you probably bumped shoulders with him before or whatever. But from what I hear from him,
I think I know who you're talking about.
okay, for sure. He how he explains it to me, I feel like most mics out there are shorter time, like because there's such a high demand and so many people signing up, that I don't know what the average regular open mic could be, like 30 people go up or something. So for that, some people only get 3 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of the mics are like only 3-4 minutes. It's like that in LA too. When I went to LA, it was like that because there's so many fucking comedians. Also, a lot of, at least in LA, there's a lot of mics that you have to like pay to get on, or like you have to buy a drink or something like that.
Yeah. Some people talk about that with some of the clubs out here in the Bay.
It's a higher level of competition.
Yeah. And you
also good for you.
Do you think there's too many people moving out there? Like, you think there's a cap on it? You think there's gonna be a point where it's just kind of like oversaturated, or the people kind of ruin the place? Or do you think that's kind of a while from now?
No, it's already kind of happening a little bit. There's a lot of people that move to Austin to like start doing comedy. You know, and I work at a bar. The bar I work at they do the Kill Tony signups there.
Yeah, and Shakespeare's, the world famous Shakespeare's.
Yeah, so they all the comedians that sign up for Kill Tony hang out in there waiting to get called. So I have a really good sense of what the comedy community looks like. And excuse me, there's a lot of people that aren't comedians but have just moved to Austin to try to start doing comedy.
Oh God.
And so there's a lot of that out there, and God bless them. But you know, I feel like to come to a place like Austin or LA or New York or Chicago or something like that, Austin's kind of becoming one of those cities where you kind of start in your own town, and then once you feel like you've reached a certain level of like skill and quality as a stand-up, then you move there. You know, you move to LA, you move to New York, you move to Austin, and a lot of people, I feel like, are just moving to Austin to start doing comedy. So there's a lot of people who suck.
Yeah. Do you
But there's also some really good comedians as well.
Of course.
But
But it's just a lot. You got to fish through a lot of fucking.
Yeah.
It's like when you have like a piggy bank and all you're doing from the piggy bank is grabbing quarters, and it's like the fourth month of you grabbing quarters, and you got to go through a lot of pennies before you find that quarter. That's kind of like how it is. I feel like especially this last episode, not the Kill Tony that you were on, but the one after. It just felt like we got a lot of, not pennies, but we got a lot of nickels that came out the bucket. And I'm just kind of like, as a consumer, like, or just as a fan or whatever, it just seemed kind of like, man, like, yeah, whatever. Like, they're good. Okay, they've been doing it 5 years, but it's like, what are the chances of me really remembering this person? And like, I don't know, there's just a lot. Like, even though there are good people, like you mentioned, there's also a lot of good people. And I just feel like from a consumer standpoint, it's a lot to take in.
Well, Kill Tony is not necessarily the place to go to find the best comedians that Austin has to offer. They're pulling out random coins out of the jar, you know.
Yeah,
so
but every now and then they pull out
pennies.
Yeah, every now and then they pull out one of the big.
You might get a $50.
$50, yeah.
You might get some, like, you know, some foreign currency.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreign currency out there.
Couple euros.
Yeah, couple. There's also a couple of like scratched up pennies, like some pennies that you don't even think should be accepted at the bank. Like the serial code got fucking scratched off that bitch.
Oh yeah, there's some coins from like the 40s you might find.
Yeah, it's some bad voodoo, probably like
coins vintage.
I guess.
And a lot of people, Joe Rogan's club is a huge attraction for people. So people come out here just to kind of be around,
like tourists.
I mean, Joe Rogan's fucking huge, and he's a huge part of like what's making this city blow up. And also Kill Tony's huge, and a lot of people come from around the world to sign up for Kill Tony. So the whole comedy scene is it's like, and I will say also a lot of people just come specifically to sign up for Kill Tony and don't really like do open mics or other stuff like that.
Right.
I'll see them at the Kill Tony signups, but not ever at any shows or mics around town.
Right.
So I think people are drawn by all the what's the word? The celebrity, I guess. That's not the word I was looking for, but
I like to think of it as like if you wanna make a analogy.
The bright lights. They're attracted to the bright lights.
It's like you want to make an analogy as somebody who's in martial arts and they're like a white belt and they're just all they want to do is fucking like spar, and it's like, bro, you can't even hit the bag.
Yeah.
But Mike, I've been holding on to this question for a while because I know when I think it was before Shakespeare's, when they had the alley, there was like, you didn't know what was going on in the show as opposed to when they were at the Vulcan, because at the Vulcan they had the little pit and then they had the alley. So at Shakespeare's, do they have like a TV or something where they could watch the show, or is it kind of like the alley as well? Like you don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, my buddy was saying all that fucking Spotify money, and Joe Rogan still can't even get a speaker that plays for the show, or when he was at the alley.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. I had something else here. Do you see yourself there for like a long time, or do you still kind of see yourself want to be like a wanderlust?
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm doing well here. I definitely won't wouldn't stay here forever. I'd like to maybe live in New Orleans. I want to go visit New Orleans. I'm trying to go to Mardi Gras
Oh, that sounds fun.
in 2024 next year. Never been to that. Never been to New Orleans. So I'm trying to do New Orleans Mardi Gras. It's only like I think it's like 5-hour drive from
That's not that bad.
Austin. I could be wrong about that. It could be longer, but something like that. You know, it's a day drive. But yeah, I might want to move there. Maybe Chicago, do some comedy there. I've always wanted to live in New York, maybe.
Oh, really?
That legendary comedy city.
I
don't know about LA.
I went to Austin last year, and through my mind, I was like, yeah, the only way I'd ever move out here is like if I was like really into comedy. Like I feel like the only thing to do out there is comedy, and everything else doesn't really spark my interest. Even like food wise, like Terry Black's is really good, but I'm not even the biggest fan of that style of food. I just feel like I get tired of the place. If I wasn't even into comedy, just like living out there, it just I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that it's cheaper and shit, but I don't know. I kind of like being by the ocean. I don't know.
Oh, I miss the ocean, dude. That's one thing that I fucking miss. I gotta go. One of these days, I gotta drive down to Galveston. That's the closest beach. Galveston.
How far is that? 5 hours?
Like 4 hours.
4 hours?
South of Houston.
Yeah. How old are you again?
33.
33. Okay. And have you just lived in the Bay your whole life, and this is kind of like your first time, like living out of California or like out of the Bay?
Yeah, that was another reason I wanted to move, because I was like, dude, if I don't go now.
But have you always wanted to move? Has that always kind of been the goal? Like,
yeah.
Really? What sparked it? Because I don't want it to make it sound like you're just a guy who fucking hates where you're from, you know? But it's like...
I love Oakland, and I want to go back eventually one day, but I just had to, you know, go on a little adventure real quick.
I get it.
I was actually going to move to LA. I had gone down there to visit in like 2019 maybe, and check out the comedy scene. And my brother was living down there at the time, so I went to visit him also and check out the comedy scene and all that, go to the Comedy Store. I happened to get up at a open mic at the Comedy Store. It was like a random lottery mic at the Comedy Store, and they called my name.
Oh, nice.
And I did an all right set. There was not that many people in the crowd, but that really motivated me. I was like, oh, dude, I gotta fucking move to LA. The energy in the Comedy Store was crazy. That's when like Rogan was still living in LA and all that.
Oh, wow. So you've been doing comedy for a while, huh? How long you been doing it?
Well, that was 2019, and I probably started in like 2016, 2017.
Okay, but, so you're like 7 years in.
About that, yeah. And but the pandemic hit, dude, and that fucking changed everything.
Do you sometimes miss the times before COVID? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty much back to normal.
Right.
At least in Austin, I don't know what it's like in the Bay, but nobody wears masks out here. Nobody really cares about it anymore out here.
I think when you were still here, nobody really cares.
Okay. I was a culture shock when I moved. People were still like tripping, and when I came out to visit in 2021, it was completely different, dude. You still had to like have your vaccine card to get in everywhere, and like
Out here
We had two
in the Bay.
in the Bay, yeah.
Okay, got
And then
it.
when I came to Austin, it was like none of that.
Dude, I don't remember ever needing to show people my vaccination cards, and if I did, it was for like a week. It was crazy.
Yeah. I remember not being able to get in places because I didn't have one.
Wow. So you're not vaccinated, eh?
Oh no, I have my vaccine card now, but I remember when I didn't.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. I've been getting into people for fucking however long this shit's been going. At this point, I don't really have much of an opinion.
Oh, dude, it's fucking stupid. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I don't even really get flu shots, but I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I don't know. I feel kind of confused.
The thing that bothered me was like they kept saying that if you have to get vaccinated because for other people, and it's like, well, if they're worried, they can get vaccinated. It's like, oh, but if you're vaccinated, then you can still get it. It's like, well, if I can still get it, if they're vaccinated, if I can still give people the fucking thing if they're vaccinated, then it's good as a vaccine in the first place. So why do you want me to get it if it doesn't fucking work?
Yeah, whatever. Let's talk about something important like your comedy career.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's kind of I don't know what word to put it, but you seem super passionate about it, and like you seem like you really love comedy, and you seem like you're a real. I think I started by saying that you seem real, and I don't know. I sense that in it. It's you know who Luis Perez is, right? We've hung out at his mic a couple of times.
Yeah, he did the mic. He does a mic in San Leandro.
Mm-hmm. I was there to put the final nail in the coffin for their last show.
They're not doing it anymore?
No, I think they stopped doing it maybe like right after you moved. I think what happened is they found out that you moved, so they cut it off. No, but yeah, no, it's dead. It's been dead for like I think over half a year now. I don't know. I've been saying this on my show a few times already. This will probably be the third time, but I don't know if you remember this. But the first show that I ever got like quote unquote booked for, you were the host of it out in Berkeley. I don't know if you remember that night.
Yeah, I did. I think I do remember that night. It was at
some pizza place.
Yeah.
I forget what
Red
it was.
Tomato.
Yeah. Good ass pizza. I'll say that. It wasn't really a good ass night there.
The pizza was all right. I used to work up the street and get like a $10 personal pizza and soda lunch special. I used to get that all the time.
Oh, what?
Right up the block.
Where'd you work at across the street?
I worked at a construction site right up the block.
Oh, okay. There was this place across the street, the Butcher's Son. You ever heard of that? It's like a vegan restaurant.
Yeah, I've heard that. Never been.
I went there like hecka years ago, and then when I did that show, I saw it across the street. It's like, oh shit, that's a place. Yeah. I don't remember. All I remember is that the Red Tomato pizza place is better. I don't.
Well, yeah, they serve meat there.
It was back when like veganism was first invented, and so like when we went out there to try it, it was just packed up the wazoo.
Yeah,
it was a long wait. Forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, do too much isn't a thing anymore.
I remember that show, and it was Mark Neuer's show.
Yeah, he was supposed to be there. It was really funny.
He was supposed to host, and he wasn't there, and so he asked me to host.
I think that was like my second time meeting him, and then I met him at Luis's place, and then the second time was that, and I remember I wasn't sure, like I was trying to connect the faces or whatever, and I like emailed him. I was like, hey, so like what's the lineup, or how much time do I get, or whatever, and he was like, I'll email you, or I'll let you know when I see you, or something like that. And so I show up, I don't see him. I check his Instagram story. He's like in San Francisco at like a strip club or something. And I'm just like, I don't think this is happening. And then you pulled up, and then we went to Do Too Much right after. I remember that. And that show was like way bigger than the other one.
Do we That was the fucking at Rob Ben's.
Yeah. They don't do that no more, too.
What?
They also found out that you're gone, so they stopped doing it.
But
That's
for real?
Yeah, they're not at Rob Ben's anymore. They moved over to some place in Oakland. But I don't know what's going on. They haven't had a because Do Too Much used to be weekly, and then they got the new venue, and it turned from an open mic to like a showcase. And then I think maybe they had like three of them, I think, and maybe a little more. And I was able to get on one of them, and then I just haven't heard from them in a while. But a lot of people are saying that they miss it. Jonathan from Berkeley, I'm sure you know him. He was always there. He said he misses it. Yeah. He said he misses it. And that was that was a good one.
Such,
Yeah,
I definitely had a lot of good times there.
yeah. It's
You know what the new venue is?
I think it's called For the Culture. I'm not sure if the restaurant's called For the Culture or it's just like a organization that opens it. And they had like it wasn't like a taco truck. It was more like just tacos there that were made by somebody else, it seemed like, and they were selling them. It's by the prison. I know that. I know it's by the prison. Yeah.
In Oakland?
Yeah. What is the street?
What prison?
Shit, I don't know. The one down the street. They were referencing it before, and they're like, "This is the only time I get out here." Just
downtown.
Yeah, it's definitely downtown. Yeah.
Oh, so they were probably talking about the
Clay Street.
Yeah. So they were talking about the county jail.
Yeah.
And that's the Wiley Manual Courthouse right there.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, they don't do it.
Oh, were they doing it at the old what's the fucking place called? The Rose?
It had hella. I think it. Yeah. I think it was that. Yeah. It had hella graffiti. Like it had hella like Aztec Mexican art around the place and shit. It was a nice venue. It was nice.
I know what I know what place that is. That's right across the street from the courthouse.
Okay.
But I cannot. Why can't I remember the name of it?
It was like something Rose. Yeah, you're right with Rose. Rose something. I don't know.
And it used to be a very popular Mexican restaurant, and it died during the pandemic.
Oh wow!
And it was the staple. A lot of people went there. A lot of local Oakland folks went there, and it had been there for years and years. And
do you think
it could have survived the pandemic?
What do you think of the Mexican food out there at Austin compared to the Mexican food at the Bay?
Oh, the Bay's way better.
I'm trying to think if I had anything out there, like if I ever had
better,
a taco. I don't know. That's one thing that gets to me there, man. The food. I'm just such an In-N-Out guy. I know there's an In-N-Out somewhere around there, but
I haven't tried the In-N-Out out here.
I think it's like 30 minutes. I don't know where it is.
I was going to Whataburger. Whataburger's.
Not a fan.
Me neither. I was all right the first time I had it, just because it was different. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But it gets old quick. I do like P. Terry's. Have you ever had P. Terry's?
Nah.
P. Terry's is good as the other local.
I don't think I've heard of it. I know Terry Black's, but what's it called?
P. Terry's little burger.
Whataburger tastes like Burger King to me.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's just like a cousin of Burger King or something. I don't know. One thing I noticed out there is that the moon's hella bigger. That's fucking geography facts.
Is it?
It is. I don't know if you ever pay attention during a full moon night. It just look. You ever see Bruce Almighty when he fucking reels in the moon? It looks like he fucking did that. And out here, it's hella small. I don't know what it is. It's probably got something to do with the ocean. I don't know. But yeah. So what are what are your goals, bro? Do you have a 5-year plan, or are you just kind of like I'm just riding the ride kind of a guy?
Um, 5-year plan.
I was going through something today. I was thinking about like, man, if I had a 5-year plan, I feel like I'm at the last year of my 5-year plan because I'm almost 30, so I feel like if I turned 25, I would have had it, and I'm just kind of at it. So it's like, from your age, 33, it's like, I don't know. Everybody's different, but I feel like some people would kind of have this inner battle or feeling of like crunch time, or kind of how some people are like, oh, I'm almost 30, I gotta get it together or whatever.
Right. I definitely have that. I want to ultimately like have a family, probably. And so I want to have. I don't want to fucking be making like minimum wage as a door guy. I don't think I'll be able to support a family with that. So in 5 years, I like to have a solid career and a solid foundation to like be able to like support a family. And so I feel pressure to get there relatively soon.
Do you ever?
Pressure for myself,
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like fucking Bill Burr and have my first kid when I'm 50. I'd like to be young with my family. And so in 5 years, I would like to be able to be fully like to be doing comedy full time and have that be my main source of income. And hopefully, ideally, a nice income.
What's a nice income? Like 100,000 at the least?
Yeah, 100,000 would be real nice.
What about 80?
80?
Yeah.
That'd be all right. I don't even know what I make now. Probably fucking.
You also gotta factor in, Texas. Things are cheaper out there. Do you feel it? Do you feel it cheaper out there? Like, does life feel easier?
Yeah, I think a little bit. Yeah.
That's good.
Gas is definitely cheaper.
What is it, like 3 something?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What is it out there now?
Dude, it's actually kind of weird. Like, some places will be like $5.50, and then across the street it'll be like $4.30. It's weird. It's weird. It's in a weird space right now.
When I left, there was some places that was like almost $7 a gallon. And then when I got to Texas, and it's gone up since I got here, but I remember stopping at a gas station when I first arrived in Austin, and looking at the fucking gas price, it was $2.93 per gallon. I was like, holy shit.
Damn. It makes you want to start a family. Gas prices are so low.
For real.
Was your dad young when he had you?
Let me think. He was probably, I think, 40, but I was his. He had kids from a previous marriage before he had me and my little brother. I have 2 older siblings from my previous marriage.
You got half brothers.
I got a half brother and a half sister.
Okay, I got a half sister. My dad had me at like 40, and that is something that kind of sparks it in me. Of like, I mean, my dad's all right. I mean, he's still alive, of course, and there's a chance that, because right now he's like 68, so maybe he could be healthy into his 80s. And I mean, best case scenarios, they just die in their sleep, and it's not a painful journey of years of giving them I don't know, medical care and shit like that. But
Right.
it does kind of strike me a little bit of like, man, I kind of wish, I hope, I want to be a little younger when I have my kid, because I still kind of want to be able to at least double leg him real quick if he's 18 or something. I don't want to be like I'm old.
Yeah.
And
And also give my parents grandchildren, you know, I want them to be able to be around for their grandkids, you know.
yeah. That's but are your folks still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's, how do I say it? Do you feel pressure on yourself sometimes? Like how you were saying, hopefully in 5 years or something, you would like to start a family. That's the goal ultimately. Do you sometimes feel that pressure of like, damn, I should have been had a kid. Like I should have been had a kid at 29 or something.
No.
Okay, that's good.
I probably want to have my first kid before 40, I think.
Okay, so that's a
But
7-year plan.
But you know, we'll see how what happens. I could have a kid fucking in a month. You know,
Yeah, man, it's all about
never know. You never know what happens.
there's no right answer. It's just about, I guess, your goals, and when the time we're just talking ideally, or like what you
Right.
want. There's nothing wrong talking about, because ideally probably too you wouldn't want a kid in a month, and like, you know, you didn't get to fucking know the mom, you know, you still, you know,
Right.
you didn't make that 100 racks. You probably want the 100 racks and the kid,
Yeah, and
simultaneously.
I've heard from people who have children young, like having a kid gives you a little push, gives you some drive and some motivation, you know, to get your shit together. So it might be, if I have a kid before I kind of build myself a solid foundation, the kid might help me to do that, to make something of myself, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna get tons of dad material.
A lot of dad material, and also a lot of reason to have shit, you know.
What was
Where you
that?
have a
You,
kid.
you lagged out. Can I get, what was that again?
Oh, I said it's like having a kid is a reason to make sure you got your shit together. You know,
Right.
if you don't have a kid, it's like you can procrastinate with fucking making something happen. But once you got a kid, you ain't got no more time.
Yeah, man, I feel like I'm
Good
missing
for you
something.
in that way, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing that a little bit, but I don't want to necessarily be, because there's some people who have fucking kids and nothing changes. You know, they're still playing Xbox.
That's true, yeah.
So I think what's important, I don't know about you, but I think for me, I think it's important that I get my shit together before I have the kid, rather than being like, oh yeah, it's gonna give me that push. I don't know. I don't want to rely on it.
That's ideal, but you know, I'm just saying there's positives to be taken away from any outcome.
Yeah. I guess one more thing that I wanted to talk about with you, before we wrap it up, I guess, is your no alcohol journey. How's that going?
I'm not really on a no alcohol journey. I know I've talked about it on the podcast, just like slowing down a little bit, but I'm not somebody who wants to ever be like completely sober. I love drinking, and I think it's a good thing, you know, when done in moderation.
Okay.
I love to have to be with my family on Thanksgiving, eat good, few glasses of wine, get jolly, get merry, get loose, and have a good time. You know, I love that. Drinking on when there's an occasion, when it's a celebration. You know, you fucking, somebody buys you a shot. You know, you do shots with.
It's the American way, isn't it?
Well, it's it's the human way, and that's a big reason why I like drinking is because, well, I try to like learn every time I like meet somebody from a different culture or that speaks a different language. I try to learn how to say cheers in their language, so I know how to say I know how to say it in Russian, French, Korean, Turkish. I learned how to say it in like Shona, the language in Zimbabwe.
Spanish, they say salud.
Salud in Spanish, Sante in French, Nazdrovia is Russian, Slancha is Irish, Prost is German, Skol is Norwegian.
Skol, that's a good one.
Kopai is Japanese.
Man, you'd be drinking with every culture, huh? That's crazy.
I'm telling you,
it's like you collecting them.
How you bring people together, man. It's like it's a beautiful thing. That all that being said,
didn't work.
All that being said, I do have to slow down a little bit, you know, which I'm been trying to do. So it's not a no alcohol journey, just a less alcohol journey.
Okay, I hear you. I mean, yeah, you could still drink and still kind of work on self-improvement and not take it to the next level, I guess. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You mentioned when the last time you were on Kill Tony, you mentioned you stopped smoking weed. What about that? Do you have a different outlook on that, or is that true, or is that just part of the bit?
Somewhat part of the bit. It's also true to smoke like a lot of weed. Used to be like smoke all day, smoke blunts, and you know, meet up with my friends and we just smoke fucking hell of fucking blunts and ride around and do stupid shit, you know. And then I kind of growing up like and being by myself more, but still smoking a lot, I was like, it started to feel stupid, and because I was high all day, and I was like, and I realized, oh, I'm not stupid, I'm just fucking high all the time. And so I had to stop smoking so much, and I like being sober, because you're sharp. At least for me. Some people can smoke and be high and function easily all day. I'm not one of those people. I gotta do smoke every now and then to like get in a creative space, or like, you know, watch a good fucking movie or something like that, you know. Or I'll smoke a little bit before I go eat at a good restaurant, you know.
Would you?
But I'm not just like smoking like a pothead. Just like some people just smoke before they do everything. I'm like, I don't need to.
Some people drink before they do anything too.
It makes it more enjoyable. Stuff like it's like, because when you're high, it's like you can have to welcome high, you the high. It's your default state of mind, you know.
You kind of cut out a little bit, but I think you were saying it's better to do things in your sober state of mind, right?
Sometimes, but also it's good to do everything in moderation, so you can appreciate. Okay. You can appreciate it. You can appreciate being drunk and high. You can appreciate the high, you know, like it being your default state of mind. You know, it's like, okay, I'm drinking now. I'm drunk. Let me appreciate it. But if you're drinking all day, every day, then you kind of, I guess, take for granted what.
I get it. Have you ever been blacked out?
Have I ever been blacked out? Yeah, several times.
See, I'm kind of on a no drinking journey. I know
you are, man.
Yeah. I don't think I identify as an alcoholic, and hopefully I never do. I guess I just don't really have as much fun with it. Call me a bitch, but I don't know. I think everybody's different, and I think how my body reacts to it is, I feel like my body is just always so like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's just like rejects it or something. I wouldn't say I'm allergic to it. I feel like it'd be worse if I really was, but something goes on.
Isn't it true that like a lot of Asian people have an allergy to alcohol?
I've never heard of Asian people specifically, but
It's a scientific thing.
really,
People
I know
from
Asian
our
people
world.
have they have more waxy earwax, and it's not like hard, like flaky. I guess I know that.
I know a lot of I have some Asian friends that don't drink just because their body doesn't react well to it.
Huh. I might have
It's
to
like
get myself checked out. I don't know.
It's a thing, dude. Check it out.
Wow, I gotta check that out because I never have a good time.
Yeah, like a lot of people from different parts of the world have different like sensitivities to things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never been blacked out, and when I was somewhat drinking more frequently, I always kind of had a little bit of a goal or a curiosity. Like, what the hell does that feel? Like, what does that feel like waking up me and like, last thing I remember is I got in the Uber and now I got $300 in my bank account and I started with 3,000. I don't know what's going on. And
It feels bad, dude.
I know it feels bad, but it's just that fucking demon in me sometimes. It's just kind of, I don't know, man. My podcast is called Suicide Logs, and sometimes I feel like there's certain things you don't have to necessarily kill yourself. There's certain things that certain I don't care in you to activate it. I don't know.
It's destructive ways, and I have that tendency in me for sure. But that's something I'm also trying to change, and it's worse in people than other people, you know.
Yeah, we all have it. I mean, like you said, it's such a not ceremonial. You know, we were talking about languages and how to say cheers. It's a way to connect people, and it's like bonding. It's like bonding your self-hatred with other people who also hate themselves in a way. if you're
Yeah.
I don't know. With certain things, it doesn't have to be just drinking. You know, it could be
Barely self-hatred. You know, there are ways to drink healthily and
Right. That's why I wasn't trying to just like single out drinking. I mean, you could apply to drinking if everybody's out like we're getting fucked up really hard or something, or it could just be people fucking not debating. I guess debating. Fucking A. I don't know. AA. Oh shit. I don't know.
You ever been to an AA meeting?
No, I haven't. But I hear you can go without even really being one, or without being an alcoholic.
Anybody can go, man. Anybody can go. I used to go to Narcotics Anonymous meetings, because I got arrested for cocaine possession.
Oh wow.
And they let me out of the. They held me in the jail cell for one night. They let me out in the morning. They were like, you know, you're lucky. I was like, well, what do you mean I'm lucky? And they're like, they just ruled like a couple weeks ago or something that possession of a controlled substance under a certain amount is no longer a felony. It's a misdemeanor.
Wow.
So I was charged with a misdemeanor instead of a felony. Had I been arrested for the same thing like 2 weeks earlier, I'd have probably had to do like, you know, 6 months in jail or something like that. I don't know how much time you get for a few grams, but
I
definitely got lucky. But the Narcotics Anonymous meetings are really a trip. And you hear there's a lot of love and support in there, because the people that are in there have just been through absolute hell, and it's like, it's beautiful to see people coming together and trying to take care of each other and help each other out and be there for each other and have each other's back. And there's a lot of tough love in there, you know.
Dang, it's making me want to join. Not join, but attend at least. Just be a fly on the wall for one. I don't know.
I mean, if you're on a no drinking journey, man, I'd go. just to check it out. You don't have to say anything or speak, or probably nobody will even say anything to you. Just go and sit in the back and just check it out.
I think I will. I never
It's,
really. Yeah, I mean
it's
that's.
an interesting experience anyway.
Yeah, I always just thought you went there if you had a problem. I mean, I know, I'm kind of aware. I guess it just never really crossed my mind that you can go without really being an alcoholic or having an issue. And so
Yeah.
did you go there just voluntarily, or were the police like, yeah,
No.
the new law is you just have to, for a misdemeanor, then you got to go to NA?
Yeah, it was court ordered for sure.
Oh, okay. How long
I
did
had
you have
to
to
go to 30 meetings in the span of a couple months or something like that.
Wow. Did you have to pay for it or anything?
No, it's free to go to the meetings. I did also have to do like a couple of days of community service.
And what's that? The first thing that comes to my mind is cleaning shit off the freeway.
I was working in a garbage recycling processing plant.
Okay, what'd they have you do? Supervise?
Like what is the word? Condensing cardboard.
Oh, okay. Like by hand, no machine? Just
No, I had to use the machine, so I'd pack all the cardboard in this machine and then like press it down and then like wrap it up. And
that sounds like it could be a cool job if that was actually your job, and it also sounds like it might even pay well.
no, it's a good job if you want to fucking work around trash all day. But yeah, it's probably a good paying job. The guy who trained me started by initially he got community service as well, and that's how he learned about the place and got the job. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. There's probably some people who you can make six figures doing that. I'm just saying. That's probably
yeah.
I would do it. I like if I was on a journey for six figures like that, I think I'd do it. I've kind of always been a little bit interested in being like a trash man or something. And when you mentioned compressing that cardboard, I got a little hard. It kind of reminded me of my childhood. My best friend, he had this thing on the wall where it crushed the cans, a can crusher, like old school with the handle. And I'd sit there for fucking hours with cans, dude. Little did I know I was helping, but I was just playing. I don't know.
It was cool. It's definitely an honorable profession,
Yeah, you helping the world, man.
But I'm gonna try this comedy thing out, though. That's what I want to do.
You ever
That doesn't work. Maybe I'll go fucking compress cardboard.
You ever think about this of like, and I don't mean to sound condescending. Like, do you ever think about doing both? Like, like trash compactor by the day and then by night do you think that's possible, or do you think things like if you want, because I don't have a gauge of how big you want to make it in comedy in terms of like making it, taking it serious and making a living out of it. Because there's two things I pictured. The more realistic thing is like you're like touring, you're traveling a lot, and so maybe that would get in the way of like a day job like that, Yeah,
if I'm touring, then I'm probably making enough money to where I don't need a day job, and that's my ideal situation.
Well, I commend you for that, man. I respect it. I respect somebody who really wants it. It's I don't.
Oh yeah.
It's because I feel like
there's people out here doing it. There's people out here that are professional comedians. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I get.
Think I am.
Yeah, man, you're pretty optimistic, man. I feel like I could I don't want to say like that I need to work on being optimistic, because it's just maybe I just have a different like path in life. Like for me, I want to get into podcasting, like, and that's why I pay attention to you. Like as a comic, I respect you and stuff. And it's like you do your podcast just through Instagram Live. And it's like when I started, I was also on Instagram Live, just making videos the same way you were. And I don't know. I think I have more of a passion for that because for me, I don't like traveling. And I mean, from this episode, it's clear you've got a little wanderlust in you, and
Hmm.
it's important for you to leave and things like that. And it's just nice to hear another perspective too, that don't have to necessarily like agree with you, but I could definitely like admire it and live vicariously through you because I do think you're a funny guy. I think you've got good material. I don't know like everything in about you too much yet, but it's just nice to, I don't know, something about I have a better understanding now after this year because I just
Hmm.
the way you perceive yourself, to at least me, I can't speak for everybody you meet out there and stuff. To me, I got this vibe of like you don't care. You're just here, you're just going with the flow, but underneath all that, you do
Yeah.
have real goals and stuff, you know what I mean? And that's
Oh yeah.
it's nice to know, man. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about how I'm having an issue with something. I think it was like the podcasting. Like for me,
Yeah.
I want to be a stay-at-home comedian, and I think some like
Mm.
I think some how do I say more natural or old school comedians, they, because I hear it, I've kind of been paying attention to the scene. I feel like there's some people that really love the craft and respect the craft over everything, and they hate or dislike, hate is a strong word, but I really like it. They dislike like TikTok comedians, and you could like tell the difference in someone who's like really there for there, or they're there just to try and make like a reel or a TikTok, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I don't want to be that either. I don't want to be seen as just some guy who who's like trying to ride something quick or whatever, get that quick, like, and just be like, look, guys, I'm funny, or as opposed to somebody who's like really working on it. I kind of want to be like a hybrid or like a more evolved version of it. I don't know if that sounds too much, but I think I've been talking to a lot of like comics out here, and I'm also glad that you're here to give your perspective as to somebody who's out there. Because I had another guest on who was like, if you really want to make it, you got to get out of here. And I feel like having you on, you brought up very good points on both sides, and I was kind of on the sides of I don't think you need to move, and he was on the side of you do, and he's gonna be out in Texas, I think in like March or something like that.
I think in you can in San Francisco. There's a couple guys. Orion has been Orion Levine.
I do not. I don't think. Maybe if I saw his face, I'd recognize it. I don't know.
He's from Berkeley, man. He got pretty big. He was on Just for Last special or festival. He was on. I think he did like James Corden, late night Corden. So he's getting some he got some motion, And I remember I remember going to open mics and stuff with him, and so you can make it. You can make it out there. There's a couple other comedians that are making it. I like Orion though; he's funny. But yeah, I think for me, Austin, I was pleased that I would have the most success, and also I would love to come back to Oakland once I have built something for myself, and I love to eventually open up my own comedy club, and kind of in my later years, kind of have that as a hub and a place where people can blow up in Oakland, because there's no real comedy club in Oakland right now. And so I'd love to be able to start one and open one and have one, and give Oakland a little reputation for being like a real comedy city,
I can see it. I can see it.
Like Austin developed this reputation in Rogan moved here, opened a club, and all this comedy followed, and now it's like a comedy city. If 10 years ago you would not even think of Austin at all as being like a big comedy city, you know. So I'm trying to do something like that for Oakland, maybe in the future.
I can see it. I can see it happening. My closing thought I just wanted to touch back is just, yeah, man, I feel like podcasting plays a big part of it. As and I don't know if, you know, 5 years from now or around that time when you want to open up your own club and stuff, however many years that takes, I feel like podcasting will play a really big part in it. And I'm gonna put all my chips on that.
Yeah, podcasting is
you get a lot more out of the comic, you know.
Yeah, you can get more in depth, and there's also the financial aspect of it. There's definitely money to be made from podcasting.
Yeah, that's true. I like to think of it as like seeing somebody do stand up, like their set that they have, that they're always working on, or their comedy special. I like to think of that as like a trailer or like a pilot episode, right, or introduction to somebody's podcast. Because for me personally, if somebody's hella funny, I'm gonna be like, man, and I find out they have a podcast, I'm like, I want to really like see what's going on in this guy's brain, you know. And that's rare. That's a foreign currency. That's a foreign dollar right there. And I guess I'm just trying to figure out if I have it, or if any of the comics that I have on here have it or something. So it's an honor to have you on, man. I had a good talk. I think I really did get something out of it.
Appreciate you for asking me to do it.
Yes, sir, man. So I'll tap in with you again. I'll see you maybe when you do your podcast or something, man. So just my only thing to say is be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah, and maybe I'll have you on. I'll get you on one of my live podcasts one time. I'll hit you on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
You can add, right?
What's that?
You can, when you go live, you can like add people, right?
Oh yeah. You can do that.
So maybe I'll have you on as a guest or something.
All right, man. Yeah, just hit me. We'll coordinate something. One more thing. I fucking forgot. You could. Oh, what's your Instagram's funny bagels, right? It's funny_bagels, or just straight up funny bagels.
Funny bagels.
Okay, that's not so hard. It's good that you got something simple. Some people be like, it's fucking funny $$_ bagels, but the S is an exclamation mark. But yeah, I'll see you in the future, man. I had something else, but if it's so important, I'll fucking get you on again and tell you. But I look forward to it, man. Oh yeah. You just gotta be safe, because that's the number one thing. You gotta get there to get there. We need you physically there. Take care of yourself, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Definitely something I'm working on.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good evening. Nice talking to you.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah. Later. All right. I'm going to say that call, the conversation was good, but for the most part, the audio was not bad. Audio was breaking up. Send feedback. And we're done. 2 podcasts in one day. Fucking, what am I doing? What are you doing? It's only been an hour and 8 minutes. You got like 23 left of the day, or however many hours you got left. So do something important. Go do Narcotics Anonymous or something. Go do what you want to do. Bye.